Kiri pushes the faded fabric aside, leaving the small room and her previous encounter behind. Her four ears simultaneously twitch in multiple directions as she enters the crowded main room, from one source of noise to another. They try to make out any possible threats among the mixed crowd. She notices a small group of Servassi engaged in conversation at a table across the room, their unusual serpentine form sticking out like a sore thumb, and a few of those leathery-skinned Curvanti are spread among the crowd, but all in all, nothing she really needs to worry about. She just wants to leave this place already, so she makes her way to the main entrance, still trying to remain undetected. Pulling her cloak over her head again, she starts to gracefully slip through the main crowd. About halfway through, she can hear some hushed whispers and some commotion. Unsure whether or not those whispers are about her or something else, she decides to just ignore it and get out of here as quick as she can. As she reaches the edge of the mass of people, she clicks her tongue in annoyance as she sees what is causing this commotion. Vorkudanti. A whole group of them at that. Shit. This is going to make things complicated. Even though the Vorkudanti evolved as a prey species, they are ironically one of the cruelest people of the whole galaxy, and they have a huge grudge against her people. Now she really has to get out of here before something happens. Ignoring the troublesome newcomer, she nervously searches for possible escape routes, but can't find any. Worse, she can already feel her twin hearts starting to beat simultaneously. Her fur is standing up, and she can feel a snarl building up in her throat. This is bad. If she doesn't make it out soon, things will get ugly. She winces softly as she painfully pinches the back of her neck, trying to calm her instincts, as she retreats deeper into the crowd. If she can't get away, she decides that she can at least hide for the moment. The group of Canadians then splits up and seems to be searching for something. Or someone. It has to be a coincidence, or at least she wishes it would be. But she is realistic enough to know that such coincidences don't happen. They must have somehow gotten wind of her. But how? As she contemplates and waits, hiding next to a dancing couple of a species she didn't recognize, one of the thugs calls into the room. Listen up! We are looking for our friend. He is a Kiroan, and we would appreciate it if all of you would help us in finding them. For those of you that don't know them, small bipedal mammalian with 4 arms. Seen them? Their tone makes it very clear that they are definitely not here for some pleasant chat with her. She also doesn't know any Vorkundantili personally, so that friend part is an obvious lie. In all honesty, anyone who knows at least something about the history of their two races would never believe them, but given the average social consciousness of the galaxy's different peoples, it could fool most of them. She clicks her tongue again, bothered by the group's surprising competence. It seems they know what they are doing. Murmuring begins to spread through the crowd, and patrons start to look around them. She has seen this before. Those guys might be more than a ragtag group of troublemakers, that is, looking for trouble. They are coordinated, and the people around her are a bit too cooperative for her liking, which leads her to one conclusion. Members of a crime syndicate. Some people next to her, either not used to such a situation or just having a low stress tolerance, get nervous and one of them bucks their leg into Kiri. The sudden shove from behind knocks her hood from her head and nearly knocks her down, but she barely manages to stay standing. The startled giant then whips their head around in surprise and looks at Kiri. Sorry, I didn't see you there, they apologize, sounding almost confused. Their eyes can tell Kiri that they definitely did not intend to do that, but she can also see something else in them. They look scared and a bit perplexed at first, but soon enough a look of recognition sets in. Kiri looks at them with a pleading expression, hoping they get the message. Realizing who is standing in front of them, they sheepishly call out, I think I found your friend. Kiri can't believe this. Are they serious? How tone deaf can they be? But she can't tell that idiot off, as she can hear the voice of the same Vorkudanti that initially caught everyone's attention respond from across the room. Thank you very much for your help, they shout to the crowd. You and you, go check it out, they order whisperingly. Suppressing the urge to lash out at the chit in front of her, she desperately dashes straight towards the exit, hearing someone approaching her already. People yelp in surprise as she sprints past them, but she doesn't care about catching anyone's attention anymore. She is as good as dead if they catch her, she is sure of it. On her desperate sprint, she bumps into a few people, each and every collision feeling as if she just ran into a tree, but she just keeps running ahead. Soon she exits the main crowd and is standing out in the open, her heart's both beating at an alarming rate. She quickly tries to find the exit, looking in all directions. In that moment, she makes eye contact with one of her friends, their gaze causing her to violently snarl at them out of instinct. Surprised by her own reaction and a bit ashamed at her loss of control, she holds her snout shut, still giving that person a death glare. The Vorkudanti's surprised look changes into a happy one. but they're specific wrong kind of happy. This is bad. This is really, really bad. Why did she end up in a situation like this? Stars, help her.
Looks like they were right. This is going to be fun. Get him!
They shout with sadistic delight. Eyes wide open, claws out and hair standing straight up, Kyrie sprints towards the exit in fighting mode, giving it all she has got. About to reach the door, she is violently tackled from the side, knocked off her feet and stands painfully against the wall. She cries out as the pain hits her, but she immediately tries to get back up again. Gritting her teeth, she tries to push herself back up, but her attacker is too strong. A large hand grabs her shoulder firmly and lifts her from her feet, her legs wildly kicking through the air as she struggles against their grip.
Let me go, you damn chit! She shouts, furious. We prefer it when they fight back. Makes it much more enjoyable.
Her raspy voice whispers directly into her ear, making her blood freeze. That sick piece of shit.
I found him,
they call out to their leader.
Good,
they respond.
Let's go outside for a little chat, shall we?
They say with a sickeningly sweet, threatening tone. She is carried outside by the scruff of her neck, completely humiliated in front of everyone present. This is unbelievable. Why is nobody stepping in? Are they really going to just let them do this to her? She is furious.
I am going to fucking kill you,
she snarls as they exit.
Yeah.
The one carrying her dismisses her, only making her rage grow. They leave the building, going back to the huge open area that is the station's main hub. Thousands of small shops, bars and other businesses are spread across dozens of floors with a gigantic open area in the middle, making for quite a view, if it weren't for the station's overall lack of cleanliness, light and class. Not leaving her much time to take in the sight, she is brought to a dark maintenance path next to the building they have come out of, still being carried like a young gone wild. Trying to find a way out of this situation, she starts thinking, maybe she can pay them off. No, they are not after her money, or she could cry out for help. That's probably not going to work either. She's probably going to have to fight them. Maybe. Her thoughts are interrupted as she is dropped on the ground and hit in her stomach. The one who is probably the leader of the group stands in front of her, pulls her to her feet, and looks her straight in the eyes, keeping their hand on her shoulder. How fucking dare you, she thinks to herself, shooting them a burning look of hatred. If it weren't for their numbers, she could make mincemeat out of these chits in an instant.
I have to thank you, really. You've just made my day that much better, they tell her.
Her rage and disgust for that chit just keeps growing and growing, like a burning fire inside of her.
Oh, I am going to make it even better, she growls,
full on baring her fangs at them. Her message is clear.
Let me go or I am going to make you.
They lift her off her feet and slam her against the wall, then hit her in the face.
See? That's what I like about you people. You never know when you've lost. Let me tell you one thing.
They lean extremely close to her face, so much so that she can smell their musky breath as they speak, but allowing her to see an important facial feature of theirs. At least she now knows that chit is probably a high-ranking male.
I will find every last member of your star-forsaken, miserable species and pay back twice what you did to us in that war, he threatens.
Oh, you have done enough paying back, you chits, she counters, flattening her ears threateningly. You killed so many of us for your worthless ideals back then. You attacked us, remember? No wonder the Six came to our aid and blasted you back to the medieval ages, you worthless pieces of... Another hit in her face, even stronger than the first one.
Don't talk to me that way. I may get angry. Kill our death.
He threatens and insults her. Wait a moment. Kirald Eth? Are they all actually thinking she is a male? That is ridiculous. Caught off guard by their unexpected error, her mind clears for a split second. She adopts a half-out sly smirk and talks back to the brute currently holding her. This could work in her favour.
You want to hunt us? You? Prey?
She emphasises the last part.
Weak losers that need the galaxy's help in order to survive in their own homeworld? Don't make me laugh, she taunts. You!
The angry Vorkadanti in front of her starts losing his composure.
Come, show me just how you are going to hunt us, you weakling.
His pupils narrow in fury as he drops her. He took the bait. Using the opening, she kicks herself off the wall and swipes at him with all four arms, claws extended. She doesn't care about any of the consequences of doing this. She hates his guts. He cries out in pain as she hits him in the face, making it a bloody mess. The rest of the group is shot for a moment, giving her an opportunity to run deeper into the dark maintenance corridor. The leader's henchmen soon shake themselves out of their stupor and run after her, their banter echoing off the metal walls as they give chase.
Why does it have claws?
One asks, bewildered, in their native language.
I don't know. I've never seen a Kirad F in person before.
That's because it's a Kirad Us, another one explains.
What?
Three of them shout.
That's impossible,
another adds.
Yeah. Stop blabbing, you idiots, a different one commands.
She runs through the dark path, taking random turns. Various pipes run across and wires hang chaotically from the ceiling. Her steps splash and randomly spread out puddles of water. The only illumination around these parts comes from a few scattered dim lamps for maintenance personnel. Her face stings. Her stomach feels as if she got hit by a vehicle, and she surely lost a few claws back there. Her pursuers are probably closing in on her, and she can already feel herself slowly running out of stamina. Oh, how she wishes she had stayed in shape instead of slacking off. She reaches into her pouch and grabs a combat stim. Gritting her teeth, she jams it into her lower left forearm and tosses the empty canister aside, it clattering along the floor.
Get back here!
Her pursuers shout. Looking over her shoulder, she sees the group of 5 or more Volcadanti chasing after her at a distance of about 10 meters. Not good. She spots a vent coming up and some pipes and clutter leaning against the wall below it. This is it. She musters all of her remaining strength and uses both her natural abilities and the aid of the pipes to swiftly scale the wall, vanishing into the vent above. After entering the vent, she shoves the pipes, making them fall towards her pursuers and clanging loudly as they slam on the metal floor, making her ears ring painfully.
Wait, take you damn chits!
She screams.
This isn't over!
One of them shouts back. Not wanting to wait and find out what happens if they actually get up here, she starts running through the ventilation system. Luckily, the ceiling is low in here, and the chances of them actually going after her are slim. After a while of running, her stamina has completely run out, and she collapses on the floor. She is hyperventilating, and her twin heart's pulse drowns out almost all of her surroundings. There she lies, exhausted, bruised and high on a potent, nowadays probably illegal combat stim. What a day. It might be a side effect of the C-stim, but even though she just had a brush with death, she is ecstatic. Lying on her back, she can hear the primitive cries of pain and fury that echo through the station's metal structure, sounding like a wild pack of non-sapients in the distance. She rolls over on her side, exhausted, and starts giggling. I really hope the void takes those chits one day. With bubbles slung around his neck once again, Frederick rappels down the frozen corridor, his fluffy companion audibly not happy about their current situation. Thanks to the lower gravity on this planet, he feels like a superhero right now. He is perfectly fine doing this while using his right arm only sparingly. Ah, come on, I have some training, alright? No worries. He doesn't need to understand them to know what they have to say about that. This place is huge though, he remarks, as they reach a much larger room, still dangling from a rope several meters in the air. But the layout is weird, he muses. In fact, the layout of the structure makes absolutely no sense as it is right now. The floor is at a ridiculously steep angle. The doors are crooked, and the way the stairs were built makes them unusable to about anyone, even through alien creatures. Something is up with this place, and he wants to find out what exactly it is. Maybe, he starts wondering. Maybe this isn't the original orientation, he guesses. He looks over his shoulder, turning to Bubbles, who looks at him with an unreadable expression. Think about it. If you turn things 90 degrees to the right, everything makes sense all of a sudden. Bubbles looks at their surroundings. But how did it end up this way? He thinks out loud. His fluffy companion faces him again and Bark purrs at him. Thanks for the input, he nods and winks. After some thinking, the silence is broken by the same sounds of skittering and screeching they heard a while ago, only much louder this time. Again? What is that? He whispers. Bubbles purrs softly. No idea, huh? He frowns. Well, if those things are as close as it sounds like, I don't want to hang from a rope like a worm on a fishing hook. Let's go. He continues rappelling down into the dark unknown below.